something.
Right.
If I talk too much,
Michael. How many minutes do you have, Adam?
Oh, it says live in 10, 11 seconds. No, 12. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay. How long have you been with BiblioPlan? Or is this your...
This is mine. Yeah.
Okay.
I've done it. I've been a teacher for 17 years.
Okay.
Live from the great state of Texas, welcome to the Texas HomeSchool Convention Show. We're about to go live from the Woodland Waterway Marriott Hotel and Convention Center in Houston, Texas. This year's Texas HomeSchool Convention is underway right now in Houston, Texas. Get ready for a candid behind-the-scenes interview with our very special guest. The show is live, so please comment during the show.
Texas HomeSchool Convention is more than a podcast show. We're a vibrant community, a gathering of people supporting one another in the incredible journey of raising the next generation of world changers.
Now, grab a seat, get comfortable, and join families throughout the United States and around the world as we dive into today's conversation. Live from Texas is the Texas HomeSchool Convention Show.
Hey, thank you so much again for joining us here at the Texas HomeSchool Convention podcast show. I'm here with Kevin. And Kevin, tell us a little bit about your booth and what you guys do.
Well, it's apologetics. So basically what we're doing is giving a defense for the Christian faith. So I've taught it for 17 years. And basically what we're doing is helping families raise their kids to be confident in their faith. So there's a lot of questions that people have about God in the Bible. You know, who made God? That's a big question. I had somebody come up to my table today and like, okay, I need to know the answer. Who made God? Because my son is asking me this. And so how do we know the Bible is true? You know, how do we know? Do we really have evidence that Christ actually rose from the dead? And what about all the other religions in the world? Or what about evolution? You know, the Bible teaches a 6-day creation. You know, how do I deal with that? So there's a lot of questions that kids have as they're growing up, and our culture is increasingly skeptical. So it's a great resource for helping families get answers to those questions that their kids are asking.
That's awesome. It sounds like you guys are meeting a really critical need in the homeschool community and helping parents talk through these hard questions with their kids. So you have a book here called Handcuffed to an Atheist. What is that about? Tell us a little about that.
Yeah. So a few years back, I got a call from BuzzFeed. They're a YouTube channel, and they wanted to handcuff an atheist and a Christian together. And so, you know, they called the local creation museum and they said, hey, do you know anybody that would want to do this? And they said, we know just the guy. So they called me up and I was like, of course, this is on my bucket list. I want to be handcuffed to an atheist. And so I did it, and I ended up writing a book about it. It's basically an apologetics primer. And what it does is teaches people how to use apologetics in everyday life. So, you know, I've learned all this information. So now what do I do with it? How do I practically put it to good use? And so that's what the book is about. And it's a lot of fun because, you know, it was a really unusual experience. And
Okay, so we got to know, how long were you handcuffed to this atheist for?
so 24 hours. Yeah. 24 hours. We were in handcuffs. You can see it on YouTube. It's pretty wild. And it was tough being that close to anybody for that long, but it was fun.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, so last couple questions. What one piece of advice would you give to parents who are helping their kids walk through these tough questions?
You know, I would just say that the answers are available. A lot of times we look at it and we're just like, oh my goodness, could you just not ask me these questions? But there are a lot of really solid answers that are available. And when you do that, when you actually take the time to discuss this, it pays big dividends, because it's important to provoke a kid's faith. So there are some kids who they never ask questions, and what happens is they just get knocked off their feet when those questions come along later in life. There are other kids who ask the questions and they never get good answers. And so either one of those positions is not a good place to be in. You want to allow those questions to be asked and then take the time together as a family to do the digging together, because a lot of times parents learn just as much as their kids do, and it's good for the whole family, and you end up being able to be salt and light to the family and the community around you too. It's a big blessing to everybody.
That's awesome. That's a great piece of advice. So, okay, last question. You're here in Houston, Texas at the Texas HomeSchool Convention. What has been your experience so far in the exhibit hall?
It's been absolutely wonderful. I love everybody here. It's a community. Everybody really is supportive. And THSC is fantastic because they really go out of their way to try to help the vendors and the exhibitors, because, people are traveling here from far places and putting a lot of time and effort into it, and being able to connect with the families and meet the needs of those families is a wonderful opportunity. So I can't recommend it highly enough. It's a wonderful thing. So.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, we're so glad you're here. If you're here on site, make sure you stop by Educate for Life. We're so excited to have you here, Kevin. Thanks for taking the time with us today.
Thanks, Haley. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us from the Woodlands Waterway Marriott Hotel and Convention Center in Houston, Texas.
We hope you are leaving encouraged, equipped, and empowered to take on this week as an intentional parent.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and never miss an episode.
No matter where you are in your journey, we are here to support you. Make sure to check out our website at conventions.thsc.org. Come join our community.
This has been the Texas Homeschool Convention Show. Have a request for who you'd like to be on our show? Email us at events@thsc.org and tell us more. We always love hearing from you. We will see you next week.
Thanks, brother.